Oh great, my battery's dying. Great way to start this video. Forget to charge your battery. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be a breakdown of the books that I currently have on my currently reading shelf on Goodreads, as well as my very hopeful December TBR. However, before I get started, I just want to say huge thank you to everybody who commented on my reading goals for the end of the year video, because you guys left some comments that really got me thinking about my reading goals, and it kind of got me reevaluating them because I am pressuring myself too much regarding some of these goals. Like just in general, I tend to be a very goal-oriented person and I love making lists, which I feel like is my downfall sometimes because I do have a tendency to get very overexcited, which I feel like is what happened with my goals video. And I just feel like I'm setting myself up to fail in a way. So what I hope to do with this currently reading breakdown is literally break down some of my habits here, and I am going to try to narrow my list down with you guys basically. So I have 3 different categories for this, and the first one is books that I am stubbornly holding on to. The other one is books that I am actually going to be reshelving for a later time. The last one is going to be my TBR for the month. Books that I am hopeful that I will finish, but I am going to try not to push myself too hard. So I'm going to start out with my stubbornly hanging on to books, which I have 3 of them. The first book that I have here is City of Ashes by Cassandra Clare. So the reason that I am stubbornly hanging on to this one is because I promised a few friends that I was going to try to finish this by the end of the year. I've tried to read this like maybe once or twice before. I don't think I've ever made it past like 100 pages. Yeah, see, right now I'm at page 93. I feel like so many people are so in love with the Shadowhunter world with Cassie Clare. I'm not one of those people. I read City of Bones a couple of years ago. I really enjoyed it right up until that ending. That ending really threw me off and I was really put off continuing the series for a while. I ended up actually spoiling myself for the thing to see when that would be cleared up. Turns out it wasn't cleared up as soon as I was hoping it would. I still wanted to give these books a chance, mostly to be honest because of the Infernal Devices. I've heard so many amazing things about that, but I really wanted to try to read the books in chronological order. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to read 100 more pages of this, and if by the end of the 100 pages I am not drawn into it, I'm just gonna give up on this series altogether and just hop directly to the Infernal Devices. Oh, I have heard, by the way, that for this series you really have to read right up until like the 3rd book, because that's when things really start picking up and that's when you fall in love with the series. But guys, to be honest, I have so many books in my TBR that I'm so excited about that I'm sure I'm probably gonna like from like the 1st book. So, oh god, there's a spider. There's a spider! There's a freaking spider dead on the thing. Like, there's a spider! That's great! But anyway, so yeah, I don't know. If I have to read up until the 3rd book to fall in love with the series, it's honestly not a series that I'm very interested in. So if I don't fall in love within the next 100 pages of this, I'm just gonna give up on it entirely. Next up is Carry On by Rowell. Honestly, this book is like my biggest regret purchase of the year because as much as I adore Fangirl, and I really adore Fangirl, is one of my favorite books, I was not a fan of the fanfiction in Fangirl. I ended up skipping through the majority of it. So why I picked up this book, I have no idea. I think I just got too carried away with the hype. I actually picked this up when I went to see Marissa Mayer in San Francisco, and I found this was a signed copy. I got excited. I'd heard so many amazing things about this because this was at the time when it had just come out and basically everybody and their mother had loved it. So I got carried away. I bought it. I wasn't really a fan of this. I feel like nothing happens within the first half, and then by the second half I was finally starting to get drawn to the story, but then I had to put it down for some reason and then I just never picked it back up. As you can see, I've gotten pretty far into it, so that's basically the only reason why I refuse to give up on this. As with the City of Ashes, I'm gonna try to read this for about 100 pages or so. If I don't fall in love with it, I'm just gonna DNF it. Which is honestly a shame because I feel like I only have like 200 pages left, but nothing happened in the first 200 pages. I get that this is like a satire of the chosen one trope and everything, but I still, like, I just, I don't know. Last but not least is TRUTHWITCH by Dennard. I was so excited about this book. It was one of my most anticipated releases for the year. I feel like the major issue that I had with this is that right from the beginning, you are just completely thrown into this world, which I normally don't mind as much, but the fact that this is told through multiple perspectives and the perspectives switch a lot within the same chapter, I was really confused, and I feel like I didn't really have enough time to distinguish each of the characters, particularly within like the two main characters who are the best friends. As I was reading, I actually had to go back and reread and try to figure out and remember like which one was like the thread witch, right, and which one was the truth witch and what was going on. Again, once I got past like the 100-page mark, I started getting into the story, but as with Carry On, I think I put it down for some reason and I just never picked it back up. I want to try to give this another shot, mainly also because I have heard amazing things about the friendship. The female friendship in this is the main selling point for me, and that is the #1 reason why I refuse to give up on this right away. So I want to see where the story goes. I want to see if it's something that I would be interested in finishing. But again, if I don't get into it within the next 100 pages, I'm just gonna give up on it and just give it away to somebody else. These are the 3 books that I am stubbornly hanging on to. If you guys want an update before I leave on vacation regarding these 3, let me know, and I'll try to upload it before I leave. Hopefully I'll get to finish all of them, but again, I'm not gonna push myself. So those are those 3. Next up are 2 books that I am giving up on for now. These are books that I'm still very much excited to read, that I still want to read. I just don't think that right now is the time. So the first one is The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J. Maas. The reason I really wanted to finish this was because it was my goal this year to catch up on this series. That's not happening. This is a collection of short stories, by the way, from the Throne of Glass series. I read the first short story, really liked it. I'm in love with Sam, which, whoa, the sun just came out. That is so bright. I fell in love with Sam. Yes, I do realize my mistake, but it's too late now. I really liked it. I still want to continue on with it. It's just not gonna happen by the end of the year. So this I am putting back on my shelf. And then same kind of situation with this one. It is Rebel Spring by Morgan Rhodes. This is the 2nd book in the Fallen Kingdoms trilogy. I was trying to remember why I never finished this book, because I remember really enjoying it when I was reading it, and I think it was because I actually wanted, the light keeps changing, the sun keeps coming in and out of the clouds. I am so sorry. I borrowed this in audio form from my library, and I was really enjoying it, but I think my loan expired before I was able to finish it. I think that was the reason why I didn't finish it, but I was really enjoying this. It was getting to the really good part. The lighting, oh my god! Next book is a book that I am kind of torn about, to be honest. So I'm gonna ask you guys for help on this one. This book is 6 of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. Guys, it's very rare where I have a book that I fall in love with the characters and the story within the first couple of chapters. I mean, I usually know whether I like it or not right from the beginning, but very rarely am I ever like pretty much convinced that I'm gonna end up loving it from the beginning. That happened with this book. But the reason why I haven't finished it yet, I really want to try to read this in one sitting, because that is my personal favorite way of reading a book. I like going like full out and reading it in one sitting, which isn't always the most convenient form of reading. So because of that, I haven't finished it. So I am very torn about whether or not I should put it on hold for the end of the year. Part of me really wants to just leave it be and read it when I get back. Part of me really wants to take it on vacation with me. However, I know that if I take it on vacation with me, I am going to have to take Crooked Kingdom as well. And these 2 books are going to take up a lot of space in my luggage. So I need you guys' help. Well, honestly, I just need you guys to tell me what to do. Like, do you think I should take this or not? Because I'm torn, and I did actually consider just borrowing it from my library, like borrowing it on my Kindle, but the hold is just insane, and I know I'm just not gonna get it on time. So I can't borrow it from my library. And I'm not really willing to buy the ebook because I already have the physical copies. What do you think? Should I take these on vacation with me? Should I just put them on hold until I get back next year? I honestly have no idea what to do. So if you could help me, I would really appreciate it, because I'm just like, those are all the books that I have on my currently reading shelf. And now I want to get to my TBR. 3 books that I want to read, but if I don't end up reading them, it's fine. I'm fine. I live in such a like perpetual state of like panic and being overwhelmed that it feels wrong when I'm not panicked and overwhelmed. I don't know what that says about my life, but this looks so yellow. Sun, what are you doing? I'm just gonna try and wait to see if the sun hides behind the cloud again. It's still out. I'm just gonna continue because it doesn't seem to be disappearing anytime soon. Oh, there you go. Now it is. Okay, moving on. So this book is one that I talked about in my last video. It is The Final Empire by Sanderson. Again, this is a book that I've been meaning to read for well over a year. I am hoping to at least get started on it. It is pretty big, so I think I decided that I'm just gonna try to get through like the first 100 pages and then decide from there on out if it's something that I want to read immediately or if it's something that I'll put off till I get back. I'm sure I'm probably gonna end up liking it though. Moving on, this is the last book in the last trilogy of the year that I want to complete, and it is In the Afterlight by Alexandra Bracken. This is the 3rd and final book in the Darkest Minds trilogy, and you guys know I adore the Darkest Minds. I really love the first 2 books. The cast of characters in this trilogy is one of my all-time favorite cast of characters. The reason why I haven't read this book, even though I love the first 2 books so much, is mostly because I don't want this to end, but it's time, guys. I actually put the ebook on hold from my library for this as well, and I think there's a chance I may actually get this on time before I leave, so there may be a chance I could take this on my Kindle with me to Mexico. So I may end up reading this over there if I am not able to finish it here. And then last but not least is my most casual TBR pick. I'll explain it in a sec, and it is My True Love Gave to Me. This is a short story collection by 12 YA authors. I started reading this last year, but the reason why it is my casual read is because I have absolutely no intention to read the entire thing. I just want to try to read a couple of short stories from this collection just to get me in the holiday spirit. If you guys have read this, please let me know what your favorite short stories are in here, and maybe I'll try to read those first. Seriously, the sun, what is going on? Okay, the sun is going crazy, so I'm just gonna wrap this up. This is going to be my TBR for the month of December. I really don't think I'm gonna meet my reading goal for this year. I'm fine with it. I didn't think I would be fine with it, but it just wasn't meant to be. This year has been a trash year anyway. We all know that. But anyway, so that is it for this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye guys!